Danny Segura for MAfighting.com. I'm here at the Bellator 231 and 232 Media Day in New York City. I'm with Frank Mir, who will be taking on Roy Nelson in the main event of Bellator 231. First of all, Frank, you weren't so happy with this matchup. You came out publicly and said it like, look, I wasn't too stoked about it. Why was that?
Well, after the Javi fight, the only thing I was very upset about, well, besides the judge, refereeing, but when I was on the ground, there was a couple times I missed submission holds, and my timing was off, and it really upset me. And so I went back and went to Drysdale's and put the gi on and really went back to training jiu-jitsu. Trained there with Rafi Domingo, who's a black belt under Damian Maia, who's like trying to fight a snake. You know, you can't get a hold of him, and he just seems to bite you nonstop. Just wow. And then Rafael, Nunez, Marcelo. And so Marcelo, who's just, he's a world champion, jiu-jitsu. Drysdale, obviously, is Drysdale. If anybody, if you don't know who that is, you're missing out. If you're interested in jiu-jitsu, look that guy up. And so I'm like, all right, back in the gym in shape, revamped, got my jiu-jitsu back sharp again. It got kind of dull there for a little while. And they're like, go fight Roy. I'm all, the guy who's fought the top heavyweights in submission fighting. He fought me, Barnett, Verdum, Nogueira, and no one's even gotten close to submitting this guy. I'm like, that's not my first choice. And so that was more or less stylistically just, it's a fight where I'm going to have to go out there, move my head, take angles, avoid the right hand and just keep landing shots on him and win a 3-round decision. Those aren't fights people look forward to winning, you know what I mean?
So, and I know on your podcast, Fight Booth, is it? Phone Booth Fighting. Great podcast, by the way. You mentioned that it might not be, the most exciting fight. Could be a little boring. Is that hard to prepare for it? Because you got to do certain things to get the W here.
No, that's not my job to make the matchups. But my job's to win the fight. And so whenever they put that in front of me, I look at the formula and how it takes to win. And like everything in our society, if other people call you on it, it's like a big deal. But if I'm the first one to say, hey, by the way, guys, this might not be a stellar fight, might not be exciting. Then on Saturday after the fight, the morning of, no one's just to go, damn it, Mir said, no, I never said any of that. I'm going to be looking for a knockout, looking for a submission, trying to make them happen. But I've trained enough times with Roy, I can sit there and tell you that statistically, very low chance of happening.
And, do you take anything away from that first fight? I mean, it was a while ago, and I know Roy, he's a little bit different in his career.
I think that I won't be able to wrestle him as much this time. I think he really was caught off guard by that. But I think that the difference you saw in our wrestling in that first match is the difference you're going to see in our jiu-jitsu on the ground. Roy doesn't like to work that area anymore as much. He has more fun working the boxing, sparring. And so that's going to catch him by surprise. I don't think that I've been rolling with some high-level guys that are fast and strong and great, that are dangerous. I go to the gym and get tapped all the time. I don't think Roy's going to the gym and getting tapped all the time. So you got to be honest with yourself. If I'm going to the gym and no one's tapping me out, how much better am I possibly getting? I get tapped almost every practice, several times, multiple times with the guys that I go with. Who's Roy gone with?
And this fight, I believe you're in a bit of a skid. I believe it's 4 fights. Can you put your finger on what's going on, or is it the fight game and these things happen?
Well, I think the first one on the skid was the Andre fight. I think I won that decision. Hunt got caught. And then the Javier Ayala fight, referee wouldn't give me back my mouthpiece. I thought I was winning the fight pretty easily. So it's still right there, And so obviously improvements on what I can fix on myself. But a lot of it isn't like, man, so far, and hopefully I'm being honest with myself, it's not like I'm going out there in 4 fights I haven't been able to compete with people. Totally getting my ass handed to me, not winning a round. If that was the case, I think I'd be in a much precarious position. But, it's the fight game. I think I'm just, there to say a string of bad luck.
And I want to ask you about something you reposted on your Instagram. You reposted a picture that Dylan Dennis posted. I believe it was of Keithan, his name is. He was a bullying victim, and Dylan Dennis went out there and paid his classes, self-defense classes in jiu-jitsu. That seemed to touch you. Can you talk a little bit about that and Dylan Dennis' actions in supporting this young kid?
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea to show that, bullying, right, is an issue. And everybody wants to go ahead and go zero violence, zero, just eliminate the bully. That's not how society works. It's not how sociology works. People, we are all the bully ourselves at times, certain aspects, and we harass or haze our friends. And then it's showing you how to deal with it, make you a stronger person, what's appropriate amount, what's not. I'm not an all or nothing kind of guy. I don't believe that's how the human psyche works. You know, and anytime we try to say, completely remove this aspect of our personality, it usually has pretty dire consequences. Look at men that are supposed to be celibate, right? That hasn't worked out so well because sexuality is a part of who we are. Now, that being said, being somebody that has sex with multiple partners every day, that's not going to work out very well either. Diseases and different, human emotions you're dealing with, right? But there's that middle line you toe. And so I think training and using martial arts like Dennis was using, to use jiu-jitsu to tell someone, hey, come out here, learn how to become more self-confident, how to deal with situations, make them a stronger person, not necessarily hold their hand and eliminate anybody from hurting their feelings. So that's why I was a very big proponent of what he was doing.
And if you have any message out there to any bullying victims, because it doesn't seem like, maybe for some people it's not as obvious to take on jiu-jitsu if you're going, they're going through something like that, especially as severe as that case where the kid was getting beat up. How important is jiu-jitsu, and what message would you have to anybody if they're going through a tough time with bullying?
Well, I think most people, barring the most extreme circumstances, can improve their own ability of self-confidence through training in martial arts and jiu-jitsu specifically. So I would say go out there and find a way to overcome your situations. Every time life's thrown me a curveball, if you look at it as an opportunity to defeat something and grow, it makes you better. In fact, no stress doesn't make you a good person. Adversity makes you a good person. It makes you stronger. Hell, yesterday I got stuck at an airport for 9 hours. I could have screamed at somebody and freaked out, but took a nap, slept. It is what it is. What can I do to go ahead and get through this situation to the next one? When people sit there and they go, oh, this is the end of the world, it's like, well, are you able to, I think people need to have more self-accountability. And this isn't victim blaming. I hate that word, but I think too many people are like, I'm having a hard time. Eliminate everything is giving me a hard time. I'm all, but then you're not a better person. You're not stronger. You're not more mentally fit. You didn't know how to deal with this obstacle. What happens when another obstacle comes your way that I'm not there to take out, to eliminate, And so I think that a lot of it is be accountable for yourself, that you can rise above the situation.
All right, Frank, well, best of luck on Friday night. I'm looking forward to your fight. Thank you, man.